Hi guys, and welcome to my World Cup prediction video for the first round of group stage fixtures. I'm very excited. It kicks off today with Qatar versus Ecuador, and although it's going to be a very strange World Cup, it's in winter, I think it's taken a lot of time to get excited, but now that it's here, I cannot wait for the football to kick off. The World Cup is such a brilliant spectacle. It's always so exciting, especially when you've got a horse in the race, as we do with England. And obviously I hope England go on to win it. I don't think they will. If you want to know what I do think will happen, make sure to check out my tournament predictor that I uploaded the other day. That sort of kicks off the start of the World Cup content. This is more of the second video, getting into, the individual games, score lines, all that sort of stuff. Make sure to hit the like button. I want to aim for 5 likes on this video. We want to try and get the World Cup content going very well. And I also want to try and hit 200 subscribers by the end of this year. I know we're a little bit away, but I think we can do it. I will be doing some live streams of some of the games, so if you're excited for that, make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of those live streams and any of the World Cup content coming your way. Let's get into my predictions. And we start off with Group A, Qatar taking on Ecuador. Now the hosts have had a long while to prepare for this one. Ecuador are in pretty good form themselves. They may be a bit of a shock to qualify out of South America anyway, given the fact that, Colombia aren't here, Chile aren't here. There are some good teams that missed out. Ecuador did very well to take that spot, and I'm wondering how they're going to get on. Now, I think Ecuador will get the better of Qatar here, so I'm going to go Ecuador to win 1-0, but if it ends up going Qatar winning 1-0 and the goal is in the second half, there may be something dodgy going on. On to the next game. Senegal take on the Netherlands. This is an exciting fixture, taking place on the second day, part of Group A. Senegal, bit of bad news, don't have Mane for this World Cup. They announced him in the squad, wanted him to get fit. He's not going to be fit in time, so he's going to miss out. Which is a shame for him, and I think that Senegal will struggle because of that. But they do have plenty of other good players that will cause a threat. However, I don't think this is where their battle is. The Netherlands are a very strong team. They probably have the most favourable group. I think if they don't qualify out of this group, it will be one of the bigger shocks in World Cup group stage history, to be honest. It's quite simple. They should be getting 9 points, nothing less than 7. So I'm going to go Netherlands to win 2-1. Group B next. England up against Iran. Now, I am a little bit worried because England, sometimes they'll come to a tournament and do terribly in the group stages. But I think we've had a pretty favourable draw, kind of like Netherlands. I think if we don't get out of this, it'll be a massive surprise, even though we were terrible in the Nations League recently. Now Iran, they do have some good players in attacking positions. They've got Azmoun, who was at Porto, and then I think he moved to Bayer Leverkusen, decent striker. They've got Jahakenbach, I think is how you pronounce his name, from that used to play for Brighton, sorry. I'm not sure where he moved, but there are players we've heard of here, so I don't think it will be a walkover. I think we have to take them seriously, but I think we'll get the job done. England to win 2-0. And then the more interesting of the two, USA up against Wales. Now for me, these two teams are fighting for second place. Who did I put second in my predictor? You'll have to go and check to find out. But this may give it away. I think USA have the quality advantage and will win this game against Wales. Wales have still got players like Joe Allen in the side, which, no offence, but it sort of shows that they're still waiting for these young players to come through and they're not quite ready. Which is why I think the attacking power of USA, and you might laugh, but they do have a very, decent midfield. Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie to sort of hold the midfield. And then attacking players, Gio Reyna, Christian Pulisic, Brendan Aronson. There are plenty of options there, and I think they'll have enough going forward to win this one 2-1. On to Group C. Many people's favourites, Argentina, take on Saudi Arabia. Now, Argentina, for me, will qualify through this group with ease. Kind of like Netherlands, hopefully like England. I think Argentina will start very strong in this tournament because a lot of people are behind them. I think until they come up to the big games, I don't think they'll struggle. Argentina to win 3-0. Now, Mexico v Poland is an interesting one. Mexico's side, they've chosen not to take a few of the experienced players that you might have expected to see, and they're trying to focus on players that will be around for the next World Cups, which is an interesting strategy. I think it might come back to bite them because it might be a step too soon. Poland obviously have that world-class quality up front in Robert Lewandowski. I don't know why I couldn't say his name. And then they've got some good midfielders as well. I'm looking mainly at Zielinski. He's been very good for Napoli this season, and I think that Poland have the quality in midfield and attack. They've got Matty Cash at right back. There are some players there that will be able to get the better of this Mexico side. Maybe Mexico will deal with the heat better. Going to be very hot. Need to think of that as a factor. But all in all, I think Poland will get the better of them. Just Poland to win 2-1. Group D next, where Denmark take on Tunisia. Hannibal Mejbri is going to be going with Tunisia. As a Blues fan, I love to see it. But I think Denmark will have too much. One thing I always think about Denmark is they are a very steady team. They're so well balanced, and they were brilliant again in the Nations League. They smashed it. The Euros, they smashed it, got to the semis. They have been a very good force for the last, sort of 3-4 years, and I don't see any signs of them slowing down. So I think the Danes will get the job done 2-0. And then France up against Australia. Now for me, I've got a feeling France might start this tournament quite slowly, but they've got injuries as well. Kante and Pogba haven't even gone, so their midfield is pretty weak. Benzema is now injured and not going to take part, and Kunku is also injured, so attackingly they've lost a bit as well. So everything they've been planning has probably changed in the last few weeks, so it's going to be interesting to see how they adapt. They've got the quality over Australia, so I think they will get the job done. France to win, also 2-0. Next up, Group E, Germany take on Japan. Now, this one's interesting because Japan caused a few upsets at the last World Cup. I remember them in the knockouts, nearly getting past Belgium. They were winning and Belgium scored 2 late goals and it was brilliant. But Japan, they can cause shocks at events like this. And that's why I don't think too much of this German side. I think it's one of the weakest German sides in quite a few years. I've got a feeling Japan might cause a bit of a shock. I don't think they'll go all the way and win it, but maybe Germany will be hit with a bit of a tough first obstacle. 1-1. And then Spain up against Costa Rica. Now Spain are a side that I've always said will control the ball very, very well, but they won't score too many goals, I don't think. They've still got Morata up front. They just don't look like they're full of goals, but they look like they can defend and they can keep the ball and everything. But maybe when they come up against a really tough opponent, that's where their downfall will be. Spain to win 1-0. Group F next. Morocco take on Croatia. The last time's World Cup finalists, Croatia, got some very good players still knocking about. Could they go on another run? Be another dark horse? Who knows? Morocco have some good quality players, but I just think their defence may be their downfall. Croatia to win 2-1. And then Belgium against Canada. Now this is an interesting one. Belgium, I don't think will be great defensively. Courtois will have to make a lot of saves for them to go far in this tournament. They've got De Bruyne, who is, one of the best players in the world, can come out with anything. He finished third in the Ballon d'Or. He's a brilliant player. But then Lukaku hasn't really been, scoring too many from what I've seen. Hazard doesn't really feature anymore. He's not in great form at all. This golden generation of Belgium is coming to an end. I think this is a transition for them now, this World Cup. I don't think they're going to go very far. And that's why I fancy Canada's pace to cause another bit of a shock. I'm not going to go all the way in again. I don't want to make myself look absolutely stupid. But 1-1. Group G next. Switzerland take on Cameroon. Cameroon will be very good at playing in this heat. Switzerland are normally a steady side, but I think they've got a tough group. This is a very tight game. I think I probably should go down the middle, but the one thing that makes me want to back the Swiss, I was going to say the home side, the Swiss, are that they've got Sommer in goal, who always seems to perform at this sort of level. They've got Mbolo up front, Granit Xhaka in the midfield. They do have a pretty decent spine, a Kanji at centre-back. He's been brilliant this season for Man City. And just that spine of the team makes me think Switzerland will get the job done 1-0. And then my favourites, Brazil, take on the team I got in the sweepstake, Serbia. As much as I'd love to say Serbia are going to absolutely batter them 5-0, it won't happen. But Serbia are not to be taken lightly. They are a dark horse for this competition. Not to win it, I don't think, but the sort of team that could just rock up to the semi-finals unexpectedly. However, this is a tough first game, and it could be, it could be difficult. I think maybe if Serbia had one of the other teams first, they'd get through quite comfortably. But this being your first game can really knock your confidence. And I really think Brazil are gonna go all out. Plenty of goals. Their attack is ridiculous. But Serbia, Mitrovic, Vlahovic, Kostic, all the itches. I did look at their team. 25 of their 26 players are all itches. So I'm allowed to say that. There's one player in there that's not. Nemanja Guedes. However, I don't know why I'm on about that. I looked at their team for my sweepstake, but they've got some good players up top. Tadic as well, very creative. So they do have great players, but Brazil, too strong. Brazil to win 3-1. And finally, Group H. Now we start off Uruguay up against South Korea. With Uruguay, they've got Valverde in brilliant form. Darwin Núñez up front. Even though he misses a few chances, he gets a lot of chances. So I can see him scoring quite a few in this competition. Valverde, Araujo, Jimenez, again, brilliant spine. I think this team could go far. Again, I think with Serbia, dark horse for this competition. And I can genuinely see Uruguay going, really going to the depths, like semi-final, final territory, if they can, really work together as a unit. South Korea obviously have Son. They've got Kim Min-jae as well from Napoli. Brilliant first half of the season he's had and Napoli have had. But I've just got the feeling that Uruguay are going to do very well in this competition. So for me, Uruguay to win 2-0. And then Portugal take on Ghana. Now Ghana are a side that I like to see do well. My best friend from primary school was Ghanaian. And I'm excited for the Uruguay-Ghana fixture. Hopefully they can get some revenge. But for this one, Portugal, I'm expecting to maybe start slow. Everything happening with Ronaldo at the moment. But I think, the further they go in this tournament, when they get to the knockouts, if they get to the knockouts, but probably when they get there, they will start to really come together. But yeah, I've just got the feeling that although Ghana have some very good players, you know, Thomas Partey in the midfield has been brilliant for Arsenal. They've got Mohamed Kudus up front from Ajax, great player again. I just think that Portugal, they have the quality and they will just about get the job done. Portugal to win 2-1. So, those are my predictions for the first round of the group stage of the World Cup. So excited for these games to kick off. I cannot wait. And hopefully we're in for some good fixtures with, you know, some surprises as well. I love to see big surprises, you know, like Japan getting a result against Germany, Canada taking points from Belgium. Big results, and anything can happen on the world stage. World Cups are very exciting for the reason that, you know, they are unpredictable. So make sure that you hit that like button. Let's get this one to 5 likes. Subscribe if you haven't already. You don't want to miss out on the World Cup content coming your way. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Try and help me get to 200 subscribers. If you enjoy the content but you're not yet subscribed, why not? You enjoy it, so press that button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any more. Hopefully England can go far, get off to a nice start against Iran. Come on, England.